Hi everyone, you're listening to Spotlight on WTBQ 1110 AM, 93.5 FM, and WTBQ.com. We are in the Spotlight today with Mike Scala. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Good. You are a musician.
Correct. Singer-songwriter.
What kind of music do you perform?
The kind of stuff I do is like alternative pop rock.
Oh,
So
nice.
kind of a cross between, I guess, people say like, I guess like The Script, One Republic, and like Third Eye Blind. Like a little bit of like, like a little bit of that in there. So I don't know if that gives like a good description, but.
Are you based out of New York or LA?
In New York, based in New York City.
Oh, okay. So I understand that you have performed in different countries.
Yeah, thankfully, yeah, for sure. I've had the opportunity to tour across the world in a couple of different places. So yeah, it's it's a lot of work, but for sure, obviously, it's my passion, what I love to do. So, so I just enjoy making good music. That's really what it comes down to, for sure.
How did those opportunities come about?
Some of them, to be honest, like the first tour overseas, I mean, it's been crazy. It's been, oh my God. There's been like 15 tours around the world in like the past couple of years. So everything from like, small stints of like 2 or 3 weeks and stints of like 6 to 8 months. So it's been pretty all over the place. Some of them, they've all come about at really like random things, and some of them, most of them I've set up myself. But just due to like emails that I get from people or fans around the world saying, "Hey, we'd love for you to come here," or on one of the tours, actually fans helped bring me over and set up some of the tour, and it was pretty cool. I don't know, like it's been pretty random. So, but obviously none of that goes without a lot of hours of no sleep and hard work with setting everything up. So
Yes.
it's been pretty crazy.
And you actually set up the tours and everything by yourself?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
Yeah, all the tour and the booking and management and everything that goes into it. So it's a lot of work, a lot of nights of no sleep, like 2 hours, 3 hours maybe here and there.
Yeah. Well, I totally am with you. I totally understand because I basically do everything myself anyways, for the show, so.
Oh, for sure. Wow, yeah. So that'd be, yeah, you know how it is. It's a lot of work doing anything, but
Absolutely.
I mean, if you're passionate about it, right, it's what it's what kind of what you live and breathe to do, right?
Yes, absolutely. Now, do you actually record yourself and engineer and do all that too, or do you have somebody to do that for you?
Well, I have a team now, but the last 2 albums, I have produced the last 2 albums, and then the third album before that, I was able to work with the team that I created here in New York since I've been here. Yeah, it's been great. I mean, look, my philosophy is everything's about your team. I mean, so I definitely do some of the thing and most of the writing and everything. But with that said, comes everything else along with it. So it's always good to have an engineer or on your team that work with you.
Yeah, absolutely. What is the writing process like for you?
To be honest, it's kind of it may sound a little crazy, but it's a little weird. Like I never know when I'm going to write a tune. Sometimes I'll just be walking. I mean, this happens to a lot of artists. You'd be walking, all of a sudden you get an idea in your head, and then whip out your phone. Or like I used to have this recorder that I used to like carry around with me, and like I'd be like just on the train or something and just start singing into it or something. People look at me like I'm crazy, but I mean, the inspiration kind of comes sporadically. And then, I mean, sometimes I'll sit down now with the guys, the 2 other guys I work with in the band, and we'll sit down and just pop a couple of beers and just sit down and just have a blank sheet of paper and then just start bouncing ideas off each other. And, like when it comes to co-writing and stuff, it's definitely about like the creative, flow that you have with the people that you work with. Like there's got to be chemistry there.
Oh, yeah,
But
definitely.
for like me, when I write on my own, it just kind of comes, I get like a feeling. That's what I said. Like, it's kind of weird. Like I get like a feeling like, how like sometimes, people get like, they may get like butterflies or they may get like the chills or like something like that.
Yes, yes.
For me, I kind of get a feeling that's neither or, but kind of similar. And I just know I'm going to write something, and I just like feel it.
And it comes
like I
to
said,
you within
sounds
like
a little
minutes,
crazy,
right?
Say that again?
I said it comes to you in like minutes.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, I just know I'm going to write something. I have no idea what I'm going to write about or what it's going to be, or a lot of it is all subconscious, and then you'll just get into it, and sometimes it happens in 5 minutes, you write a tune, and sometimes it takes, I'm sitting there with a pen and piece of paper and my guitar for like 5 hours. I mean, you just never know.
Right, exactly.
So, it's a little weird, yeah.
Now, what are your goals for 2014?
For 2014, goals for 2014 would definitely be setting myself up to play at the Garden, Madison Square Garden, in 2015 or 16. So that is my ultimate goal. That and to obviously work with my charity and be able to do a lot of positive things besides, hands-on, besides like trying to make a difference, in people's lives through music itself, and probably like immediate goals would be, I've got a tour coming up in Australia and Hong Kong in February. So, getting ready for that tour and trying to make it as successful as possible. And then, hopefully off of that, trying to probably find a really good manager and a really good agent to work with. I've got a fantastic publicist, so she's been phenomenal, and she just joined the team, and we just started working with her in the past like 2 months, and I'm just looking forward to really building my team and just really making some good music and just focusing on that and trying to obviously do as many shows as possible and like get involved with as many other artists in our genre as possible that want to maybe rock with us and do some shows and kind of just get back in the studio, work on the new record. There's a lot of things in there, it's like constant, like back to back. You always, I know I'm always moving and shaking, trying to make something happen and just try to do my best. And like I said, just create some kick butt music. I don't know if I could say the A word on air, so I'm just going to say.
It's okay. You'd be surprised what people slip and say.
All right, cool. So I won't be overly censored.
No. You had mentioned your charity that you have.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that and how our listeners might be able to help you out with it?
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, you can always email me at mike@mikescala.com. That's like if anyone's trying to get involved or help out in like charity work, and I work with people and charities all over the world. So I'm always trying to develop that, and I mean, it's always helpful and awesome if people want to get on board. And what specifically the charity does is it provides educational opportunities for youth in developing countries and mentoring programs for at-risk youth here in the States. So, my ultimate goal is to be able to obviously, provide things like food, clothing, educational supplies, like all those kind of things to kids that need it, and, make music available to as many kids as possible, because I just think it could do a lot for people. I don't know,
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I know music saved my life. So for me, I mean, if it wasn't for that, I mean, I probably don't think I'd be here today. So
Really?
So yeah, I mean, I think if anyone wants to get involved, pop me an email, say what's up, say, hey, hopefully you like the music and it's not too horrible on your ears.
I don't think it is. I don't think it's horrible.
I'm just kidding. I hope so yeah, I mean, but like I said, at the end of the day, I mean, for me, it definitely all comes back to those two things, to the music and to, making as much of a change in the world as I can, as one person. So
Yeah. Now, you mentioned that you're going to Australia and to Hong Kong.
yes,
You set those
yes.
up yourself too?
I did, yeah. I just finished that up yesterday. So,
That is awesome.
yeah, so it's a pretty crazy. It's just a massive job setting something up like that, especially overseas. Like for me, I know like anytime I do a show, like I try to make sure, like obviously I try to make sure I rock it as hard as possible. And when people come, we really, really try to bring down the house and have fun, really, because the motto for us is like, people always like, oh, like what's a show like, or like, how, all that kind of stuff, and our response is just it's fun as hell. So
Yeah.
come down and you'll see. So we just like to have fun with it, but that whole process, that putting on a show takes about, for me, it's like 1 month, one show, it takes, to do it properly. So,
Yeah.
and that's here in New York City or in the States. Overseas is a whole other ball game. It's a completely different industry, completely different everything. So it takes a lot of planning and like precision and, the right people you're working with and like I said, on the phones, because over there it's like a 16-hour difference. So when it's like midnight here, I'm on the phone until like 5, and then I wake up at like 7 to do it all again. So
Yeah.
just no sleep to make it happen. That's it.
I hear ya.
Sleep is for the weak. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Hey, you know what? It's true. The most successful people are the ones that are up, all night.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't call myself successful, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm getting there.
You've been to 15 countries and 2 more in the next, month? Next 3 months?
Yeah.
That is pretty successful. And you did it all yourself.
We'll I know. I want the garden and I want arenas, so, it's hopefully on the way. Just
Well, you better invite me when you're at the garden.
For sure. No worries at all. Hit me up. We'll sort you out with a ticket for sure.
Yeah, I love the garden. I've been there many times.
Me too. It's. I just saw Paramore there, actually a couple of weeks ago, and it was a killing show. Actually, the first show I saw in the garden was U2. When I was like, I don't know, like 16 or 17, and it absolutely blew my mind. So ever since I saw that, I knew that I had to try to get that stage, and I wanted to play that stage, and it just changed my life. I wasn't even a huge U2 fan before I saw that, but just seeing what you can do with the garden, and like
it's amazing.
Seeing how like the people just interacted and just totally just like the crowd, like the vibe of it, like the sound, like the everything. It was just. I was like, I have to be on that stage somehow, and
yeah,
and I don't know. And then a funny thing happened too around that time. Like, I don't know if when you were like in grade school, like like elementary school, did you ever like write a letter to yourself? Did your teacher ever have you do that, or? No,
I never wrote a letter to myself.
No, all right. Well, when I was in like 3rd grade, like my 3rd grade teacher, Miss Morgan. Shout out to Miss Morgan if she's ever out there. So. She had us write a letter to ourselves, and she mailed it to us when we were in 11th grade, like going into 12th grade, like, right before college. And in that letter that I wrote to myself in 3rd grade, I still have it. It says that I want to play Madison Square Garden someday.
Really?
So, yeah, so I don't know. I guess it's always been there. So I don't know. Like, it was crazy because at that same time I happened to go to that show in the garden, and I was like, oh man, this is it.
That is awesome.
So, anyways, just random and that popped in my head. Sorry,
yeah.
I digress.
Well, when I was in school, through like middle school, through high school, they would bring you into the guidance counselor, and they would say, "What are your goals? What do you want to do when you graduate?" And I would say, "I want to be in the entertainment business," and here I am.
Look at you. That's it.
Yeah, it's crazy how things work.
Yeah, for sure. Well. Yeah, then, you're living proof. There you go. If you put your mind to it, nothing's impossible. And,
yeah.
If something's inside of you and you're passionate about it, you just got to fight for it, and be willing to take risks and, Obviously you did, so
Yeah.
I mean that's awesome. I mean that's rocking. I mean congrats. You know, it's
Thank
great
you.
that you're pursuing your passion. I love to see that. I like when people do that. So it's
Yeah.
great.
And congratulations to you.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. I
Well,
appreciate that.
I hope that you get to the garden
Yeah, me too. Me too.
and really take in that moment when you're on stage.
Oh man, pop that lighter for me. you know?
Yes. It's definitely when you're on that stage. I mean, I've never been on the stage, but I've been, backstage and everything. You're really in this moment. I remember just standing in the hallway. I was interviewing a band, and I was just like, holy crap, I'm at the garden backstage. It's.
Are you a backstage at the Garden?
Yeah, I was backstage.
What?
Yeah, it was weird because
What band was it?
it was My Darkest
Oh.
Days. They were opening for Nickelback. You've probably heard of them.
Okay, all right.
And then
I
I
haven't heard of them. I'm going to check them out though for sure.
check them out.
Wow.
They're
I mean,
amazing.
man.
And then
What a
I'm
rush.
part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, so they got tickets for Justin Timberlake. And we
Nice.
got like a whole backstage tour and everything. It was awesome. But
Look at you.
that was definitely like a once in a lifetime moment where you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah, I'm sure you felt the energy of that place. Yeah, like it's got like an aura about it. Like
Yeah.
it's just like, if you play the Garden, you've made it. So
Exactly.
I mean, there you go, you made it. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, you honestly feel the energy coming off the stage. It's like a feeling that you'll never feel again.
you should have just ran on stage like, hey, what's up, Justin? Let me get the mic.
Yeah.
Now you're making me jealous. Now you're just bragging now.
See, you gotta come hang out with me.
Hey, listen, hear me. I'm coming to hang out with you for sure.
Come on up. Where can people download your music or get your CD?
You could check it out on iTunes or the newest album, Heart on the String. I just recently took that one down to kind of revamp it a little bit and re-release it. But the other two albums are available online on iTunes. If you just type in Mike Scala into iTunes or into YouTube, a couple of tunes from the last album will come up. One of them specifically that I'm definitely fond of that would love to hear feedback from people and see if they dig it is a tune called Lead Me. So you can check that one out on YouTube. And yeah, I mean the music's out there, so I definitely hope that people like it and enjoy it and definitely get the message and kind of feel something from it that I felt when I created it. So it's always a good feeling to connect with people. So
Yes, it is. And definitely a song that others could relate to.
yeah, exactly.
So.
I mean, yeah, the last thing about music is it does something different for everyone.
Right.
One person will listen to it and I mean it's always the biggest tug on my soul or heart when I get an email from somebody that's like, your song helped me get through this hard time and thank you so much. And I just like, oh my God, like I can't believe like something that I created, and had an opportunity to put out there, helped somebody get through a tough time or, really, energize somebody or, somebody's listening to it at a barbecue or something, they'll pop me an email. Like, it's just, that's a good feeling, like to know that people are connecting with you and really, really kind of are taking it in and enjoying it,
Yeah, it's definitely a great feeling. All right, well, thank you so much, Mike, for calling in.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it, and it's such a pleasure to chat to you, Sean. I definitely appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. If you're ever up in Orange County, stop by the studio.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll just hop on my private jet right now in the sweat.
Yes, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, we're only like an hour from the city, so.
Awesome.
But,
I definitely will stop by if I'm ever in the area.
Thank you so much for calling in, and definitely stay in touch.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.